99% of people are unknowingly keeping their insulin levels high all day long. That means even if they're dieting, even if they're sweating in the gym, their bodies are still locked in fat storage mode. Yes, your body can actually block fat loss when insulin stays high. But here's where it gets interesting. There's a simple biological trick that can flip the switch. A method that lowers insulin naturally without starving yourself, without cutting out entire food groups. It's not a trend, not a supplement, and not a crash diet. It's a small change in how you time and pair your meals based on real science from metabolic research. Researchers from leading universities have found that when insulin is lowered strategically, fat burning rises dramatically even without changing total calories. It's how some people lose fat faster, even eating the same amount of food. They've learned to control insulin, not just count calories. And the effect is powerful. In this video, you're going to learn exactly how this insulin trick works. You're to discover the real reason most diets fail. Something that happens at the hormone level. How timing your meals can unlock fat burning mode. Why some healthy foods secretly keep you from losing weight. And a simple daily adjustment that can make your metabolism more efficient within days. You'll also learn why some people can eat more and still lose fat while others feel stuck no matter what they do. The answer isn't luck, it's insulin control. Now, before you think this is another magic trick, let me make it clear. This is science, not hype. It's based on how your body actually responds to sugar, carbs, and energy signals. But most people never hear this part because diet advice often focuses only on calories, not chemistry. The truth is, fat loss starts in your hormones long before it shows in the mirror. And here's the suspense. This single trick could change how you approach food forever. Because once you understand how insulin shapes every pound you gain or lose, you'll never see eating the same way again. Stay with me till the end of this video because by the time we finish, you'll know how to trigger your body's natural fat burning mechanism and start losing weight faster without punishing diets or endless workouts. Welcome to our channel, where we turn science into simple life-changing strategies for better health. If you're serious about understanding your body and taking control of your weight the smart way, then hit the subscribe button now and join our community. Let's begin this journey and reveal how mastering one hormone can transform your entire metabolism. Insulin is one of the most powerful hormones in your body. Its main job is simple. It helps move sugar from your blood into your cells where it's used for energy. Every time you eat, especially foods rich in carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. In response, your pancreas releases insulin to bring that sugar down and guide it into muscles, the liver, and fat cells. It's a brilliant system when it works properly. But when insulin levels stay high too often, something changes. The body starts storing more fat instead of burning it. You can think of insulin like a gatekeeper. When it's high, the gates to fat burning are closed. Your body says, we have plenty of energy already, no need to use stored fat. So even if you eat less or exercise more, high insulin can quietly slow your progress. Now, here's the hidden problem that affects millions of people: insulin resistance. This happens when your cells stop responding properly to insulin signals. Imagine your body keeps shouting, store sugar, but your cells aren't listening anymore. To fix it, your pancreas produces even more insulin, trying to force sugar inside. The result? Constantly elevated insulin levels and rising blood sugar. This condition doesn't develop overnight. It builds slowly, often from years of frequent snacking, sugary drinks, and processed foods that spike blood sugar again and again. Over time, your muscles and liver become less sensitive to insulin, and your fat cells become more active at storing energy. That's why many people gain weight easily and find it almost impossible to lose. Their bodies are working against them hormonally. High insulin doesn't just stop fat loss. It also increases hunger and cravings. It can make you tired after meals and push you to reach for more snacks just a few hours later. The body becomes trapped in a cycle: eat, spike insulin, store fat, get hungry again. Breaking that cycle means understanding how to keep insulin balanced throughout the day. It's not only about sugar or desserts. Even so-called healthy foods like fruit juices, white rice, or breakfast cereals can raise insulin sharply. Eating them too often or at the wrong time keeps your metabolism stuck. The key is learning which foods and habits keep insulin steady instead of letting it swing up and down like a roller coaster. Insulin is not the enemy. It's essential for life, but modern eating patterns push it beyond its natural rhythm. When insulin is kept under control, your body can finally switch between storing and burning energy the way it's meant to. Understanding that balance is the foundation of faster, sustainable fat loss. Multiple scientific studies have explored how lowering insulin can impact weight loss, and the results are striking. Research has shown that methods focused on reducing insulin levels can help the body burn stored fat more efficiently. When insulin stays lower for longer periods, the body is better able to access fat as a fuel source. Studies involving low-carbohydrate diets, intermittent fasting, and carefully timed meals consistently report improved fat loss even when total calories are not drastically reduced. People following low insulin strategies often experience better control over hunger, fewer energy crashes, and more steady progress compared to traditional dieting approaches. Lowering insulin doesn't require extreme measures. There are practical strategies anyone can use. One of the simplest is reducing the intake of high glycemic carbohydrates, which are known to spike insulin rapidly. Foods like white bread, sugary snacks, and sweetened beverages can trigger frequent insulin surges. Swapping these for protein, healthy fats, and low glycemic vegetables helps maintain steadier insulin levels throughout the day. Intermittent fasting is another powerful method. By extending the time between meals, the body has a chance to reduce insulin naturally and switch to burning stored fat. Even small fasting windows such as 12 to 16 hours can make a measurable difference over weeks. Exercise also plays a critical role in insulin management. Resistance training, high-intensity interval training, and even consistent walking can increase insulin sensitivity, meaning the body requires less insulin to move sugar into cells. Stronger insulin sensitivity allows muscles to use more glucose efficiently, leaving less circulating sugar and less need for fat storage. Regular physical activity complements dietary adjustments, creating a combined effect that accelerates fat loss without relying solely on restrictive eating. Additional studies suggest that meal timing and composition are equally important. Pairing protein with carbohydrates, adding fiber, and avoiding late-night heavy meals can prevent prolonged insulin spikes. Some research has even explored the effects of circadian rhythm on insulin, showing that eating earlier in the day may improve insulin efficiency and fat metabolism. These findings underline that controlling insulin is not just about one trick or a single food choice. It is a combination of smart meal choices, timing, and physical activity. It's essential to understand that these low insulin strategies are not a quick fix or a magic pill. Sustainable weight loss comes from consistently applying multiple lifestyle changes together. By combining smarter eating, mindful timing, and regular movement, the body's hormonal environment shifts naturally. Over time, these adjustments help maintain lower insulin levels, making fat burning easier and more consistent while also improving energy, metabolism, and long-term health. The insulin trick is simpler than most people think, yet extremely effective when done consistently. At its core, it is about timing your meals and managing how and when carbohydrates enter your body. Instead of eating whenever hunger strikes or following the typical 3 square meals pattern, the trick focuses on strategic meal timing, controlling carb spikes, and using short fasting windows to allow insulin levels to drop naturally. By giving your body periods without food, especially high-carb foods, insulin has the opportunity to fall, which signals your body to shift from storing fat to burning it. One of the most powerful aspects of this trick is how it works with the body's natural rhythms. For example, delaying breakfast by even an hour or two can create a morning fasting window, allowing insulin to decrease after an overnight fast. This small adjustment can significantly improve fat oxidation during the day. Another variation is what some researchers refer to as the dawn effect manipulation. Early in the morning, insulin naturally rises slightly to prepare the body for energy needs. By carefully timing your first meal or adjusting its composition, focusing on protein and healthy fats while minimizing fast-digesting carbs, you can prevent excessive insulin spikes and keep fat-burning pathways active. The trick also involves controlling carb peaks throughout the day. Instead of consuming large amounts of sugar or starchy foods all at once, spreading carbohydrates strategically around workouts or pairing them with protein and fiber can reduce sudden insulin surges. This method not only improves fat burning but also stabilizes energy, preventing the crashes and cravings that often lead to overeating. Another variation includes short intermittent fasting periods, such as skipping late night snacks or leaving a 14 to 16-hour window between dinner and the next meal. These fasting windows allow insulin to dip lower than it would with constant eating, giving your body time to access stored fat for energy. People practicing this method often notice reduced hunger, improved energy, and accelerated fat loss, particularly in stubborn areas like the abdomen. Even small adjustments, like having a late breakfast or shifting carbs to post-workout meals, can trigger meaningful changes in insulin patterns. Over time, these tweaks teach your body to respond more efficiently to insulin, enhancing fat-burning potential throughout the day. The beauty of the insulin trick is that it works with your body's natural hormonal cycles rather than against them, creating a sustainable and science-backed pathway for faster fat loss without extreme dieting. The first step in using the insulin trick effectively is to track your current meals and carbohydrate intake. Start by paying attention to what you eat, when you eat, and how it affects your energy levels. Keep a simple food log for a few days, noting all sources of sugar and starch. This baseline helps you see patterns like late night snacking, mid-morning sugar crashes, or frequent high-carb meals that keep insulin elevated throughout the day. Knowing your starting point is crucial because you cannot adjust what you do not measure, and even small patterns can have a big impact on fat storage. The next step is to introduce a mild fasting window. This does not mean skipping meals completely or starving yourself, but it could be as simple as delaying breakfast by an hour or two or leaving a longer gap between dinner and the next morning's meal. Even short fasting periods give insulin a chance to drop naturally, which signals the body to begin burning stored fat for energy. For many people, this small adjustment can dramatically reduce the constant spikes that prevent fat loss. The key is consistency. Doing this every day allows your body to adapt and respond better to the lowered insulin levels. Once a mild fasting window is in place, focus on choosing low glycemic foods that do not trigger large insulin spikes. Replace sugary snacks, white bread, and refined cereals with protein, fiber-rich vegetables, and healthy fats. Pairing carbohydrates with protein and fats slows digestion, keeps blood sugar steady, and prevents the sharp insulin surges that block fat burning. Over time, making these food swaps helps the body stay in a more favorable hormonal state for fat loss and also stabilizes energy levels throughout the day, reducing cravings and overeating. Adding movement and resistance training is another crucial step. Muscles are one of the most insulin-sensitive tissues in the body, meaning they use glucose efficiently and help lower overall insulin levels. Strength training, high-intensity intervals, or even consistent daily walking can significantly improve insulin sensitivity. The more active your muscles, the more your body can manage sugar effectively, and the easier it becomes to burn fat without extreme restrictions. Even small sessions like 20 to 30 minutes a day make a measurable difference over time. Finally, it is essential to monitor and adjust as you go. Listen to your body, notice how your energy levels, hunger, and even mood change in response to the fasting windows and food adjustments. Some people may need to lengthen or shorten fasting periods, adjust meal composition, or change workout timing to fit their lifestyle. Tracking simple metrics like energy, cravings, or even blood sugar, if available, can help you fine-tune the approach. Over time, these small iterative adjustments create a system that is sustainable, flexible, and effective, allowing your body to maintain lower insulin levels and optimize fat burning naturally. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to control insulin is starving themselves. They think that skipping multiple meals or drastically reducing calories will automatically trigger fat loss. The truth is, extreme starvation often backfires. When you deprive your body of food for long periods, stress hormones rise, metabolism slows, and insulin regulation can actually worsen. Smart fasting is different. It provides short, controlled windows without depriving the body of essential nutrients, giving insulin a chance to drop naturally while still fueling energy needs. Another common error is following zero-carb or extreme diets. While lowering refined carbs is beneficial, cutting out all carbohydrates entirely can create imbalances in energy, mood, and nutrient intake. Carbohydrates, especially from vegetables, fruits, and whole grains, provide essential fiber, vitamins, and minerals that the body needs to function properly. Eliminating them entirely can make fasting and insulin control harder to maintain because the body becomes stressed and less efficient at processing energy. The key is choosing the right types and timing of carbs, not removing them completely. There's also a widespread myth that calories do not matter at all. While insulin management is important, energy balance still plays a role in weight loss. Eating in a severe caloric surplus will still lead to fat gain, even with excellent insulin control. Conversely, combining moderate calorie awareness with strategic insulin management maximizes fat loss while keeping energy and performance high. Ignoring calories entirely can lead to frustration when results are slower than expected, so balance is critical. It's also important to issue a caution for people with medical conditions, especially diabetes, prediabetes, or other metabolic disorders. Manipulating meal timing, fasting, or carb intake can have significant effects on blood sugar and insulin levels. Without guidance, these strategies can become dangerous. Consulting a doctor or qualified healthcare professional ensures that any insulin targeting plan is safe and personalized. Additional points to consider include over-reliance on quick fixes like supplements or detoxes, which promise insulin control but rarely work long-term. Many people also mistake occasional indulgences as failures, which can create guilt and disrupt consistency. Sustainable results come from steady, thoughtful adjustments rather than extreme measures. Paying attention to how your body responds, making gradual changes, and avoiding these common mistakes allows insulin management to be both effective and safe over time. It is important to understand that controlling insulin and using this trick will not melt fat overnight. Fat loss is a gradual process, and expecting instant results often leads to frustration. However, when insulin is managed effectively, many people notice accelerated fat loss over the course of a few weeks. The body gradually shifts from storing energy to burning it more efficiently, and that shift becomes more noticeable as time goes on. Even small daily improvements compound over days and weeks, resulting in measurable changes in body composition and energy levels. One of the most interesting aspects of insulin management is its effect on visceral fat, the deep fat that surrounds organs. Visceral fat is particularly responsive to lowered insulin levels because it is hormonally active and sensitive to metabolic signals. When insulin is high, this type of fat is stubborn and difficult to lose. But by creating periods of lower insulin through meal timing, carb management, and fasting windows, the body begins tapping into these stores more efficiently. People often notice reductions in belly fat before they see changes elsewhere, which can also improve overall health markers like blood pressure and cholesterol. Consistency plays a crucial role in this process. Unlike extreme diets or quick fixes, managing insulin requires regular, repeated actions. Skipping fasting windows, reverting to high-carb meals, or inconsistent exercise can reset progress and slow results. Staying consistent doesn't mean perfection. It means maintaining patterns that allow insulin to fluctuate naturally throughout the day. Over time, these repeated patterns help the body adapt and respond better, making fat loss smoother and more sustainable. Even outside of fat loss, consistent insulin management can improve energy levels, reduce cravings, and stabilize mood. Many people report feeling less sluggish after meals and noticing fewer mid-afternoon energy crashes. Consistency also allows the body to adjust hormone cycles, improving sleep and metabolism over time. Small daily actions like delaying breakfast by an hour, choosing low glycemic foods, and adding movement become more powerful when repeated, creating a cumulative effect that compounds week after week. Another benefit of sticking with the routine is that it builds awareness of how your body responds. You start recognizing which foods spike insulin, how exercise affects energy, and how meal timing changes hunger patterns. This knowledge allows you to make smarter choices without stress or restriction, reinforcing a healthy cycle of fat loss and metabolic control. In the long run, consistent practice of insulin management not only accelerates fat loss but also improves overall health and creates habits that are sustainable for life. Now that you understand the basics of the insulin trick, the next step is to pick one variation and try it for 2 full weeks. It could be delaying breakfast, creating a short fasting window, or adjusting carb timing around workouts. Choose the method that feels realistic for your schedule and energy needs. Starting with just one variation keeps things simple and helps you observe how your body responds without feeling overwhelmed. The goal is to experiment, notice changes in energy, hunger, and even waist measurements, and build a small habit that can be maintained consistently. As you try the method, share your results in the comments below. Hearing from others who are experimenting with the same trick can provide motivation and insight. It also helps create a community where people exchange tips, experiences, and questions. Even small wins, like reduced cravings, more stable energy, or noticing changes in body composition, can encourage others to try the approach themselves. Your experience could inspire someone else to make a simple change that has a big impact. It is also important to remember this is not medical advice. People with pre-existing conditions such as diabetes, low blood pressure, or other metabolic issues should consult a healthcare professional before making changes to meal timing, fasting, or carbohydrate intake. The trick works for many healthy individuals, but everyone's body responds differently, and safety should always come first. Listening to your body and adjusting accordingly is key to seeing results without risking your health. For those who stick with it, the results after 2 weeks can provide valuable insight into how your body handles insulin, fat burning, and energy levels. Once you understand your response, you can gradually refine the method, layer in additional strategies, and start experimenting with variations that fit your lifestyle. The body responds best when changes are consistent, measured, and sustainable, not rushed or extreme. Finally, there is much more to explore beyond this simple trick. In the next video, we will take a deeper dive into meal plans, specific timing strategies, and common pitfalls that can slow progress. Understanding these details will allow you to fine-tune your insulin control and maximize fat burning potential. By combining this foundational trick with additional knowledge, you can create a system that works for your body long-term rather than relying on temporary fixes or guessing what will work. Mastering insulin gives you real control over your fat. It is not about starving yourself or following extreme diets. It is about understanding your body, timing your meals, and making small, smart adjustments that allow your metabolism to work for you.